Now we're going into balancing half moon. All right. So to go into balancing half moon, where do we start?
Triangle? Triangle?
What's the basic position of?
Side triangle.
Well, it can be triangle or warrior two. Either one. Either one. So have your blocks at the front edge of your mat. Now bring your right foot into the middle of the mat. So remember the last week we went into it from downward facing dog? This is how you go into it if you're not going to do downward facing dog. So you have to bring this foot to the middle of the mat, and then step this foot back. Align your heel and your instep. So essentially, we're here in warrior two. Okay? Now take your right hand and bend down and grab that block. Have it in your hand. Okay? Now step up. Almost like you're going to go into a warrior three. And then bend into your knee. And place the block about 1.5 feet out from your foot, out to the outside of your foot. Okay? And then as you straighten into your leg, bring that leg up and peel and open up into balancing half moon.
Oh.
I think I'll try. Damn it!
All right?
Having fun.
All right, let that back leg drop down onto the earth, come back down, and when you come right back down, come back down to straight legs. Okay, because now from here, what are you ready for?
Hot pockets?
Triangle pose, reverse triangle. Or you could do triangle first, then do balancing half moon, but then you have to come back to what? Warrior two. Okay.
So, you can even switch it here on the back one, right?
I'm sorry?
You can even just switch the direction of your feet.
Well, that's what we're going to do. So if I'm here, I'm going to do this. But I need to make sure that I take my block with me. Okay? Now this is my non-preference size of balancing. So you have your block. I'm up overhead. Now step forward. Bend into that front knee. Get that foot out here. Keep everything open to the side. Lift that leg and come up. And then open up. I can't balance on that side.
Saying opening up to the side really helps a lot, like turning my hips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm with you, Will. I'm with you. So if I were to ever mirror this one, it'd definitely be on the right side.
So if you ever demo it, just do the right side. And what I have found in the past, all right, let's come out of it. You know, a lot of times people will do this, and they'll bring that back leg up, and then they'll bring the hand down. And I find if you create the foundation of it first, come here, both legs are bent, I straighten into my front leg, I stack my hips, and it's almost like peeling an onion.
Wow. Good job.
You know, you just, it's much easier than trying to lift your back leg and then bringing the arm up overhead.
What's a modification if people can't open up like that, or if they're losing their balance?
Well,
I was using my block.
Oh, no, I'm not lifting the leg then.
not lifting the leg.
Okay.
And use your blocks. Okay? I find that the blocks help most people because many times when people come here, like if I was to do this without a block, look at my body. See how I'm almost like falling on my head? So by using the block to create the height, because of my Tyrannosaurus Rex arms, they're too short, it keeps my body lifted.
Well, for balancing poses,
On Monday, we were told if we wanted a challenge, to do it on a block, like stand on the block and do a balancing pose. Is that for all balancing poses, if we see
Who
that?
told you that?
Who told you that?
Victoria has
For strength,
Strength and stability?
for tree,
Who said?
but it was fun, it was fun doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
Now that
it's a way,
for strength though.
it's a way. And she said, if you want a challenge, so if you want a challenge, do it that way. Okay? I find that a majority of people that come to yoga classes, unless they're doing really strength and stability and that's all they're doing, like I would never teach that in my yoga classes because people couldn't do it. So it is a modification, I wouldn't call it a modification, it is another expression of true pose.
Yeah,
It was
honestly,
fun.
if I was going to a strength and stability, I'd do that, but if a regular yoga class, if I saw an instructor started doing strength and stability during a hatha, I'm out.
I guess my question is, is there any pose that you wouldn't suggest? That you're like, absolutely not, like that's just a lot. Like the half moon,
No, I don't think I would do balancing half moon on it.
right?
Because now you're, now, part of the reason is, even on the block, just stand on the block, just stand on it. Just stand on the block. Now, how stable do you feel? Your foot's going like this, so you don't have, so it would have to be a really firm block.
So that was the other thing, mine are kind of soft. And I was like, should I have gotten a firmer block?
It's the same thing, it's the same thing when you do balancing postures here, okay? When you do it on a mat, there are many people, when they do it, listen up, there are many people, when you do balancing postures, they will step off the mat. So that they have the firm ground, even though this is like nothing, but it's still squishy. So if you wanna have that firm foundation, just step off your mat. I have people do tree off the mat. Okay? So there was, that was balancing half moon.
Half circle of 8.
Let's see how her legs going like that?
Yeah.
That takes a lot of control.
It hurts.
You know, and can you imagine falling off your block?
I was scared.
That's what I was watching your foot go like this and I was just saying, she's gonna roll that foot. She's gonna roll that. Okay? Alright, so let's go down and let's do gate pose and half circle. So we start in tabletop. Start in tabletop. Okay. Now take your right leg and extend it out to the right side of the room. And just let it touch down on the earth. Now begin to walk your hands back towards your knees, bring your hands to your hips, and bring the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Now, when I teach this posture, there is a way to go into gate that you just go down to the side. I like the rotation of it. So bring your arms up, rotate towards that extended leg, and then come down, bring it on either side. Now you want to, all right, everybody back out. Grab your block, have one on each side next to your knees. I forgot that. So when you're teaching this posture, be mindful that you have your blocks in place. Okay? So one's going to go on this side, one's going to go on that side. Because when you cartwheel over, you can grab onto a wall.
Oh.
Okay? Like that. So now you're down on your hands and knees. Extend that right leg out to the right side. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Engage your core. Crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Okay? Now inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Lift that rib cage, twist towards that extended leg, and reach towards that extended right leg. Okay?
So are we supposed to like pivot this right leg to go towards the wall? Because when you said extend, I keep it like parallel.
That's fine. But
feels
does it
very
move?
awkward
Does it
when I do
move?
this.
See, what I would do when you turn like that, just let your foot shift.
Yeah.
Naturally.
That's what you have to do. I have to do that, Kat, because of my hip. If I don't do it, my hip's all whacked out. And I was teaching it in class the other night, and I didn't do that, and I had to say to them, don't do this, I gotta fix my hip. Right? So come back to, now you're in half gate. So now, we're going to half circle. Okay? So both hands are down on the outside edge of that leg. Okay? Take your left hand, bring it up, sweep it up, use the momentum, come all the way around, and then grab onto your block or the floor. That's half circle.
Can this be a stretch, a warm-up? Is the hand,
Can you see what?
can you use this as a warm-up?
I use this towards the back end of my practice.
Got it. Is the hand facing down towards
Down.
the earth?
Down. Imagine you're pointing your fingers to the back of the room. Now press your hand into the floor. Come up. Come all the way back over. Back to gate. Rotated gate pose. This time bring both hands on the inside of your front leg. And walk your hands back to center. Come down onto your elbows and your forearms. Interlace your fingers. Make a pivot point with your thumb and let your third eye rest on your thumb. Okay. Alright, so you hang out here for a little bit. Now, press your palms into the floor like you're coming up into tabletop. Bring that right leg in. Back to tabletop. 2 rounds of cat-cow. And then reset in tabletop. Okay. Now come into stillness. Lift your left leg out to the side. Let it come out. Set up for gate pose. Have your block on either side. Walk your hands back towards your knee. Bring your hands to your hips. Engage your core. Does everybody know why I have you bring your hands to your hips? Keeps your hips square, but when you bring your hands to your hips, it helps to support your body so you're not lifting up with your back.
And this back foot's fine to be curled or flat.
Some people like it curved, some people like it flat. It depends. I find that sometimes when the foot is flat, you have a tendency to wobble a little bit. So now we inhale, we bring the arms up overhead. Lift your rib cage. Twist and reach towards that extended leg. This is rotated gait. Now take your right hand, sweep it up in front. Use the momentum of the arm, bring the next arm up behind you and go right over into half circle.
Singing cat.
Beautiful. Now inhale, let's come right back, go back to rotated gait. But this time bring both hands on the inside of your front leg, down onto the earth. And now walk your hands all the way around in front. Come down onto your elbows and your forearms. Interlace your fingers. Create a little pivot through your thumb. Bring your third eye and rest it on the mat.
And this is extended leg child's
This is like an
pose,
extended
right?
child's pose.
Yeah.
Alright, beautiful. Let's come back up onto your palms if you're going into tabletop. Get your foundation, bring that left leg back in. Take 2 rounds of cat-cow.
So it's like a combination of like a groin stretch and a lateral stretch and foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be clear, my understanding is
for cow, although a lot of people like to do an exhale here, that it's supposed to be an inhale.
It's an inhale for cow,
Cow, exhale for cow.
exhale for cow. It's hard to exhale to cow. And you guys are doing really good with head placement, because when you do cow, people have a tendency to do this, and they throw their head way back, and they're just scrunching their head. So when you come up into cow, you just have to lift. So I just said, take your gaze to where the ceiling meets the wall. That keeps the head in a neutral position, right? Now, shift your hips either to the left or to the right, and come sitting on your legs.
I don't know.
Swing your legs around, Tadasana Sattva.
Sorry. Someone later can show me what rabbit and frog. She explained
Oh,
it
yeah,
better.
sorry.
Oh, you're good. I wasn't here.
Okay? Now, here comes mild pain. Okay? So take your right leg and sweep it out to the side. Take your left foot, bring it in, and let it rest on the inside of your right thigh. Okay? Now my toes are pointing here. It starts here. Okay? So hips, rib cage, shoulders are here. Okay? Now inhale. There's going to be two preps, and then we go to mild thing. Okay? So inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Lift your rib cage, twist towards that extended leg, and then reach towards your toes. In this posture, this is where you talk about keep your gaze up towards your feet. You don't want to drop your chin to your chest. Keep your gaze up. Be mindful that you're not rounding into the back, because the minute you drop into your chin to your chest, you're rounding into the upper part of here at the top of your thoracic spine. Now release both hands, bring them up to the ceiling. Rotate back to center, bring your hands down on the earth. Now just take your right hand, bring it up and over, and just point the toes of the right foot and just reach towards that back corner of the room.
Back corner behind you or back corner?
Go like, so like I'm going here, so that would be like you're going there. Yeah. Okay, because that's the direction you're going to go for mild thing.
Gotcha.
Okay, now inhale, come back up to center, and everything starts again back at center. Inhale, palms come up. Lift your rib cage, twist, and reach. Inhale, come up. Rotate back to center. Hands touch down. Right hand comes up.
So when you're doing this right hand stretch, do you keep both glutes on the ground, or can you reach
You
up?
can lift up.
Okay.
My hips lifts up. I lift up.
It's a nice stretch, or do you get more?
You can lift up. Because the next time we're going to lift everything up.
Oh.
So now we come back here, come back to center. Now this is where we go into mild thing. Inhale, palms come up. Lift your rib cage. Exhale, hinge. Reach towards those toes. Inhale, palms come up. Hand touches down. As soon as you touch down, roll up onto your left knee. Do exactly the same thing.
That sounded bad.
Is there any way to do this and
You
stay
okay
on the
about
mat?
And what?
Is there any way to do this and stay like with your knee or heel on the mat?
Position yourself.
Most likely not. 'Cause my heel is sensitive, my knee sensitive.
Well, if you turn sideways, the only reason why I don't teach it sideways is because in most classes I don't have space for people to do it sideways.
Yeah.
And so I don't have a place to teach it, so I have to teach it from here. You know, and if they're facing sideways, they can't see me. Okay? So now you come back down, and now you take your left leg and bring it back out.
So when you're doing, I'm assuming you're switching legs, are we extending the foot and keeping the knee up?
I don't know what you mean. Show me.
Oh, so you
Show
are
me.
on this side,
Mhm.
so I see that you're now switching to the other side.
So if I'm here,
Yeah, so whichever side you prefer. I caught you mid-switch. Do we extend the foot back by pressing forward with the heel and foot back with knee up?
no, knee down, knees down here.
No, knee facing towards.
Oh yeah, knees, yeah, everything.
Because sometimes people could just.
Yeah,
sit
no.
up.
So you want to have an internal rotation.
So keep it,
So sometimes when I say internal rotation, people don't understand. So what's the easiest thing that people can understand?
Like
Toes
toes.
pointing towards the ceiling.
So toes forward.
Rotate that foot, toes pointing towards the ceiling, toes are active, okay? So a lot of times I'll go from here, and I'll do this.
So no floppy.
No floppy feet, okay? So now we do the same thing, we come up,
So it's
We
kind of
lift
like
the
a
rib
forward
cage.
fold, half
we can
forward.
do reach. I'm sorry, what?
Kind of like a forward fold, but with the slats. Half forward fold.
It's a
Inhale
bend
and come
foot.
up, now we come back down. Same thing, just bring that arm up and over. Now this is where you point this toe. When you go here, point the toe. Because when you go up to mild thing, you want to point the toe. Okay?
And down.
And let's come back to center. Except when your foot goes like this and now your toes get stuck like that. Back to center. My toes, they go like this and they get stuck there. Like claw feet. Inhale, palms come up. Lift the rib cage, exhale, hinge. Somebody told me I should eat more bananas.
Yeah.
We come up, rotate back to center, point that toe, reach, come back to center. Now we're gonna go up into mild thing on the opposite side. Inhale, we come up. Everything starts center, rotate, release. Inhale, come up, palms come up overhead. Now, as we do this, now we're gonna roll up. And then when you come down, bring your butt down first. So let that foot slide, let your butt come down. Come back to center. Come back here, bring both hands down to the earth. Now take both legs out. Now this foot's stuck. And then I will do inhale, arms come up overhead. Lift your rib cage, exhale, hinge, reach towards those toes. Now bring your hands down, let them slide up your shins. When the crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling, slide your feet back in so that they're hip distance apart. Bend your knees, bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Walk back, find your balance point. Let's finish this and then I'll answer the question. Comfortable. And then for both, just bring your legs down. Torso comes up, butterfly in the sky, roll down one vertebrae at a time. Extend your arms long overhead. So did you see how that just all fed into?
I like that.
Now we're in with fine.
About
Right?
right